In this week's recap, stocks lagged after another week with no fiscal stimulus, and the labor market seemed to improve despite a rise in COVID-19 cases. Life is too short to worry about what the next headline could do to your life savings. Hi, my name is Eric Hagen, and I keep my thumb on the pulse of the economy and the markets so my clients can focus on the things that are actually important to them. Thank you for joining me the next few minutes on today's weekly economic video update. The failure to reach an agreement on a new fiscal stimulus bill soured investor sentiment and sent stocks modestly lower for the week. The Dow Jones Industrials average fell 0.95%, while the Standard & Poor's 500 lost 0.53%. The NASDAQ Composite Index slipped 1.06% for the week, and the MSCI EAFE Index, which tracks developed overseas stock markets, declined 0.44%. Stock prices ebbed and flowed all week, pulled by the gravity of fiscal stimulus talks in Washington, D.C. As investors saw improving prospects for a new fiscal stimulus bill, stocks rose. As prospects dimmed, stocks turned lower. Hopes for striking a deal were raised late in the week as comments from a key negotiator suggested that a deal might be getting closer to fruition. The week ended, however, without an agreement, cementing a disappointing week of performance. Market sentiment was further weighed down by the continued rise in COVID-19 cases in the U.S. and Europe, though anxieties were tempered by the belief that a full economic lockdown was unlikely. Markets have been focused on weekly initial jobless claims as an important input into the state of economic recovery. After weeks of 800,000 plus new jobless claims, last week's report reflected an improving labor market, as new jobless claims rose by 787,000, below consensus estimates of 875,000, while continuing jobless claims fell by more than 1 million. The report wasn't entirely positive, however, as more than 500,000 individuals were added to the Emergency Assistance Program that extends unemployment benefits to those who have run out of state unemployment benefits. Hey, this is Eric again. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. To learn how I give my clients' life savings the attention it deserves, visit me online at www.EricHagen.pro. If you'd like to get financially organized, go check out NoCostFinancialDashboard.com. And lastly, if you'd like to take control of your 401k at work, visit us over at 401kinvestmentpros.com. Thank you again for your time today. I'll look for you next week.